I'm Allie. I came out after 20 years of marriage, and I have 3 kids.
I'm Melissa, and I have 2 kids, and I came out at 37 after an 11-year marriage.
This podcast is about coming out later and the struggles and victories that come with it.
When coming out feels like the end of the world, but it's really just the beginning.
This is the Lesbian Chronicles. Welcome to the Lesbian Chronicles.
You sound so SNL.
Here with my, here live and in person.
Live and in person.
This never happens anymore.
I know. We've been doing a lot of recordings over Zoom because of our busy lives.
Are you holding the mic because you think you don't have a
We don't
thing?
have a mic stand.
I think I do have a mic stand.
Oh, okay. Hold on, guys, while we find the mic stand. There, look at that.
I got it all here. The only thing I don't have, it turns out, is good sound. Because, and if you're listening, person who I met today by the dog park, who let me nicely know that it sounds like we've got some sound issues.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah,
but I mean,
she did graciously offer to help.
Okay. If it's free help, I'll take it.
But I let her know that you're actually rocket sound. It's just that oftentimes
you
I don't
always have the
you.
board, and I'm literally like, look for the thing that
Look
has a
for
cactus.
The cactus. I'm like cactus.
That's where you get your audio.
Yeah.
Anyway,
here we are, and the sound is going to be great today because Melissa's running the show.
Yes, and I have brought my friend Ietta today.
Who I guess like you must be so busy because we were supposed to have you on earlier, and then you canceled. And then Melissa was like, "Oh, I can't lock this girl down."
She's just
and
so
here
busy.
she is.
Yeah.
And you even came live.
I literally do have a lot going on in my life right now. On top of all of my runs, I'm also a caseworker at Ridgeview Institute for Mental Health. So I'm doing that. Plus, I'm in school for my MSW, my Master's in Social Work. So I'm trying to do more things and become a licensed therapist. Is what the whole ultimate goal in the end. So I'm doing that as well. So I'm taking 3 classes online at a time, and I'm working, and then I'm running about 40 miles a week.
Whoa.
And then I have a fun side gig on the weekends. I'm a ghost tour guide. So,
really?
Yes. So I take people on 11 different haunted locations.
Do you know
in Atlanta.
I love a ghost tour.
Oh, you do like ghost tours?
I did one in Washington,
Wow.
D.C.
Yeah.
That's really
it's
cool.
awesome. It's so much fun. And
you
so
do them
real?
here?
I do it here in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh,
we go to,
shit.
it's like, so the Fox Theater is actually one of our locations that are haunted, just in case you all want to check it out.
Is it real or did they make this
No,
shit
this
up?
is real. Listen, people even order EMF detectors. So if you order one, you can detect the ghost and it'll beep.
Oh my
if
God.
the ghosts are, yeah. Go ahead, Atlanta Ghost.
I want to do this.
AtlantaGhost.com.
Can we get a private lesbian ghost tour?
We can definitely do that. We can set it up.
We could have lucky winners.
Absolutely.
We're going to do a lesbian ghost tour.
Yeah, but are you scared? Some people are scared.
I'm a little scared.
You seem scared.
Because I've seen ghosts before, and I've literally had to be like, you guys leave me alone. Like, I don't want you. Like, and
holy shit, I don't even know if I knew that.
I have some stories to share.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Interesting. So then you'll be great for this. It'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
You might be able to sense the ghosts that are out there. Because sometimes
might.
some people are able to sense them because they have, the sixth sense, and they're able to feel them around in their spirit.
Obviously, you do if you saw them.
I do saw them. So this is something that you might want to do.
And I had something happen recently that confirmed it more so.
Oh, well, then you need to come on the tour.
Yeah.
It's
a little scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wow, this podcast just took a turn.
Yeah, and listen, my name is in all of the reviews on Atlanta Ghosts.
Oh my God, we didn't even know. Okay, well, this is happening.
Yeah.
We are getting this organized. We're going to
I
have a
love
giveaway. We're going to have a
On the
lucky
weekends.
winner, and then we're going to put together a group, and we're going to do a ghost tour.
Yes.
Yes.
This would be amazing.
Do a ghost tour, absolutely.
So, Ietta, let's dive in.
Yeah.
How did you meet Ietta, Melissa?
We met at Second Friday. Is that right?
Yes, we met at Second.
Okay.
Well, actually, I honestly, let's just be real. I really feel like I met you on OkCupid. I feel like I've seen
really?
you on OkCupid.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
No.
That's where me and Marina met.
No, I saw you. I might have just seen you. No, not that we met, literally, but I remember seeing your face on OkCupid. That's all.
It's
You're
a
very
memorable
memorable.
Yeah, it was your face, but no, we met in person. I just remember seeing your face on OkCupid, but I wasn't really on there for that long. But no, I actually did meet you in person for the first time at
Second Friday.
Right.
Okay, yes. That's what I was thinking, but I was also like, my brain's...
we were friends. We were friends on Facebook.
Right, that's right.
That's what it was. I'm saying we were already friends, but we never met in person.
Yes, that is it. Because I saw you, there was postings on the QWN site, I think, that I saw about you with your running. And I was like, this chick's impressive. Like, I love to follow people who are so passionate about running. And so I sent you a friend request on Facebook.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that's what happened. And we became friends. But I remember remember seeing your face from OkCupid. Yeah. I'm like, oh, cool. So let's just be friends.
So
now.
there's a long history here.
Yeah. But we didn't meet in person until Second Friday, which is so funny because I only went to Second Friday because I joined a women's book club because I wanted to meet more women. And I know, listen, this is what I do. I'll look on the meetup groups, like on, the meetup groups, and I'll see like who's going to the events. And if they're not cute, I won't go.
You're not going?
Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So
gotta be strategic.
Yeah. So this women's book club, right? It was a bunch of cute girls going to this
they're
book.
Smart.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, all I gotta do is just read this book and go.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's easy. It's easy. So I went, and of course, most of them were like, I think like 99% of them were all straight.
Oh.
But they were. But that's just that's what it is. That's what happens. But there was one that was not, and she invited me to Second Friday. Okay. And she's like, come to Second Friday, you'll meet more lesbians and stuff. Because, this is just not the scene. You need to go to Second Friday.
Yeah. This is the book club, the straight book club.
Yeah,
it's just not the scene.
And she actually stopped going after that because she felt like it was a whole bunch of Karens at the book club. She felt that. I didn't feel it, though. She sensed that. But that's her
vibe.
That's her vibe. That wasn't mine. But she might have been looking for more. I don't know.
Okay. So you go to Second Friday.
I go to Second Friday. Go to Second Friday, and I remember, I'll never forget, this beautiful woman just said, "Hey, how you doing?" And it was Melissa. It was you.
Oh.
And it was like Melissa. She's like, "Hey, you were awesome. I want to say thank you so much for inspiring me," because she was saying how she does CrossFit.
Yeah,
but you've done half marathons.
I have. I ran a long time ago.
She ran half marathons, and here I am thinking, "Oh, this is awesome."
Yeah, I got a running friend.
Got a running friend. This is a hot girl. Maybe she'll give me her number afterwards, and then she introduces me to her girlfriend. So
beautiful girlfriend.
But that's okay though. But it's cool that we became friends, which is really awesome.
And she knows a lot of gay people.
Exactly. Knows a lot of gay people. And so that's kind of how everything happened. So we just been really cool ever since then.
Yeah, I like that.
Absolutely.
Ietta, do you know we have in common that I'm a marathon runner?
Oh my goodness. You are? Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. We are going to talk.
I've done lots of them.
How many have you done?
Not like you have. I mean, I've probably done 8.
That's still a big deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
So have you ever run New York City?
I have not run that one. I've only run one world major, and that has been Chicago Marathon.
Oh, Chicago's the best marathon around.
That was actually my best time. Yeah,
it's everybody's best time.
You knew it.
It's best flat, right?
Yeah,
it's flat. Mm-hmm. Great crowd support, perfect weather. It's the best marathon, in my opinion.
That was on my. If I was going to do a marathon, it would be Chicago.
Do Chicago.
Sure. Yeah.
You still should.
So you still should.
Let's get back to the gay thing.
Well,
so you're at Second Friday. There's all these women. You're like, shit, what have I been doing?
Yes, shit, what have I been doing? It is so weird that you say that because that's what I said at first. And I met it was really cool though. But it was so funny. I actually went with one of my straight friends that first time to Second Friday. And they got a phone number and I didn't. But
there we go.
But the second time I went, I did get a few numbers. And then I started getting more numbers. But and then I met one person, and it was a day she actually brought out a dating game to Melissa brought out a dating game.
Oh, yes.
She brought a dating game to the Second Friday. And I feel like the reason why I didn't win is because I said, the question was, well, would you choose cheese or no oral sex? What would you have to drop forever? And I said I would have to drop the oral sex because I love cheese.
Yeah, of course.
So I guess that's probably why I didn't get picked.
That's definitely why you can't say that at a lesbian event.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, cheese is really good, though.
Cheese is so good. I honestly, as you were saying the question, I really had to.
Can't say that, though. Remember that, though?
I do remember that question. That's funny because we have another dating game coming up.
I heard.
This coming Friday. And I was just looking at my questions and I saw that one and I was like, oh, I already did that question. So
damn.
But yeah. But every time I've been going, I spoke to one person and we were talking.
Talk to me about, like a lot of our listeners, they go to these things and they want to meet people. How do you even walk up? Tell me how it works.
Well, this is the good thing about Second Friday Atlanta. So the thing about Second Friday Atlanta is they have like the armbands, and the armbands will tell you, they'll be color coded. So certain colors will say whether you're single, taken, it's complicated, or poly. So I look for all the green ones. I think the green one was single. So I see people with the single armbands, and I'll talk to them. And the complicated, I forget what color.
I think it's red. Well, no,
red
is yellow.
Red
is your taken.
And pink is poly. Pink is poly. Yeah, and complicated is yellow.
How many pinks are there in this scene?
There's a few pinks.
Yeah. Really?
There's a few pinks out there.
It's more so the younger crowd, I feel like, is wearing those.
The pink ones.
Yeah.
And it's complicated. Are you basically saying, I'm here to test the waters, but I'm in something?
Yes.
So is that good? announce to the world?
Never know.
You never know. Well, of course, you just want to do with the green light. I'd rather do a green light.
Yeah,
I just rather do a green light.
You're focused on the green lights.
I'm focused on the green light, yeah.
I think in life, that should be the way.
Yeah.
Right?
But you know what I noticed, and I'm going to say this out there, it's really hard to find lesbians, let's just be real.
That are totally green lights.
They're totally green lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Valid.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree with that, because that's the thing about the dating apps, and I've said this repeatedly on this podcast.
Yeah, you do. You say it.
There are so many people that are on the dating apps that are not ready to be dating, and it's more of their ego boost to be on there. And it's wasting everybody's time, because there's people on there that really want to be in a relationship.
Like, why don't they want to be to me? It's like if my partner and I broke up, it'd be devastating. But I would never want to be just out there meeting.
You're an adult.
Are you serious? That's the number one thing that I always get. I get the people that are coming out of a relationship. Like one person actually was literally divorced, but still living with her ex,
husband or wife,
ex-husband. But listen, no, she already knew she was totally lesbian, so she should definitely be part of the coming out group,
right?
But she knew, she knew, like right now it's all everything. She's got the gay flag stickers on her car.
She's going all out.
She's got everything on her phone.
She's doubling down.
Literally
gay.
In our coming out group, like one of the topics was, how do I look more gay?
Like she's got
she's going
gay
for
tattoos. She's got the shaving on the side, underneath, the side shaving.
Okay.
Like, gotta send out the signals. It's the bad signals.
She doesn't change her mind.
Exactly. Like she can't anymore now.
She can't anymore. She did it.
She put a sticker on her car.
Exactly. And she's got the tattoo on the back of her neck now, so she can't go.
Okay.
Damn.
No turning back now.
Okay, so wait, but doesn't she want to move out of the home and
no.
be alone a little bit?
I didn't finish now. So yeah, when we first met up, let me tell you the situation. When we first met up, she was actually still living in the house. So I was like, give us some time before we actually, meet. Like we had matched. I'm like, just get your life together. So literally a year later, she messaged me back again. Mind you, in between that time, she had already been through like 3 different partners, lesbian partners. Uh-huh. And so they didn't work out. But now she's moved out the house. She's got her own place now.
Oh, it's a little more free.
I'm like, okay. So she had been single since April. Mind you, this is October. Okay, you've been single for a few months. All right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hang out. Okay, let's hang out. Let's do something. Let's see what's going on. So we did actually, and I really believe this. If you want to get to know somebody, any lesbian, just spend 3 days with them. Just spend the weekend with them.
Full 3 days?
The full 3 days. And you know what? Sex doesn't have to happen, because it didn't happen for us. Uh-huh. Okay? But that 3 days, you'll learn everything about that person you need to know, whether or not you're going to want to be with them or not.
I could not be with someone new for 3 days.
I mean, I could if I really liked them.
Okay. But listen, that's what I'm saying. So the first weekend, this is what happened. The first weekend, it was cool. I went to their house. They live in Chattanooga, by the way.
Oh, okay.
They live in Chattanooga. We went out for tacos. We ate, and we just cuddled. Next morning, made me breakfast. The following weekend, she came to Atlanta, and we went to yoga, and then we went to sushi, okay? And this is all just platonic, no sex, nothing. And then the following weekend, I went on to the Indiana Marathon, the Monumental Marathon in Indiana, and she came with me for the weekend. And we drove up there for the weekend.
You had someone come marathon weekend? I don't even let my partner stay the night with me marathon night.
She stayed with me for marathon weekend. She actually was the one that picked me up and everything.
Oh, I won't have that. You and I can already tell.
Too.
But then after that weekend, we realized it just wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
Because you just were tired of each other.
No, just there were other things.
Just wasn't a thing.
There were other things. Just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
We're better off being friends.
But those 3 weekends, that was enough for you. But you want to combine it and do 3 days all at once.
I'm just saying that third weekend, the weekend we spent together, is when I realized it wasn't the person for me.
Yeah.
Right.
That's when I realized, and I think she realized it too. Like, when we're still cool friends. Like, I still like her pics on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. She's even got a new profile pic up with her and her new girlfriend.
There we go.
So,
but then is it like, I'm tired of this, and now you got to spend the rest of the weekend with her?
No, it wasn't like that though. Okay. The whole weekend was cool.
It was fun,
but you just knew after. Like, I just knew after that
we were cool, but just certain things I just knew. You just knew.
We don't need to pursue.
I think that's
I
like that. Because I feel like sometimes we're like, well, maybe it'll develop.
Yeah, and listen, this is all this I'm talking about, and I'm going to stress this is all this without sex. So I've still been celibate since 2017.
Wow.
I still have not had sex with anyone. I've actually still literally been single since 2017. And because I really, I know what I want. I'm not going to just settle for just anybody. I know who I want to be with, and I know I've had multiple partners in the past in my 30s and 20s. I'm 42 years old now, so I kind of know what I want now.
And you're good alone.
Yeah.
I'm good alone. Yeah,
right.
100%.
So I'm not going to just give that to anybody.
No,
just because.
Right.
Waiting for the right person.
Time is too precious.
Absolutely.
You know what? We should take a quick break.
That's funny about the staying all weekend. I'm thinking of like all the reasons why that would never like. Now
But there's a movie like that. It's a terrible movie, honestly. it's really gross, but it's called Duck Butter, and it's about a lesbian, like two lesbians that meet, and they decide that they are going to spend, I think, like 36 hours together, or 48 hours.
You told me about this
So,
movie.
wow, really? I gotta watch it. That's on Netflix.
I think it is, but be prepared because it just gets a little like there's just too much information.
Interesting.
But it's an interesting concept for a lesbian dating scenario. It's very similar to what you're talking about.
Okay, interesting.
So,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even want to get into why it didn't work out. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
So you walk into Second Friday. You want to get phone numbers or meet people.
Oh yes, and you know what?
How do you do it?
I'm just super outgoing. Okay,
I was going to say this is a person that doesn't have a problem going.
I'm just
Okay.
super outgoing. So I actually have gone to Second Friday by myself and like have left with plenty of friends. And a lot of times, because see, this is what I'll do. So, because I'm on a serious, I'm on a tight schedule. So I can only be at Second Friday from like the time it opens to maybe about like at the latest 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Because I got to go to my morning runs on Saturday in the morning. So I can't stay long. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? I start talking to people for a little bit, and then I'll end up getting their number. Well, actually, I don't even ask for their number. I'm like, what's your Instagram? Oh my God, follow me. I'll follow you. This is so cool. And then once they follow me and I follow them, or there have been times I've actually been like, hey, how are you? What's going on? I see you got the green band. Let's talk for a little bit. And then I'll ask their number. And if they give it to me, they give it to me. I've never had anyone say no.
Wow.
Okay, I was just going to say, do you ever feel like rejection? Because we talk about that sometimes, like people are scared.
Yeah, I've actually, so this is what's happened. I know at one time, one person said, I think you're cool, but I'm not looking for anything. I've had that before.
Yeah,
they
no
text
problem.
me. Okay, fine, it's fine. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
moving on.
Just move on.
Yeah.
Just move on. I've had that happen.
Yeah, I think that's a good way.
I've had that happen. But I haven't really met anyone set in stone at Second Friday to where, because what will happen is I'll end up messaging people and I forget that I messaged them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When did this message go
who
through?
were you?
Yeah, I forget. And I still got people on my phone I haven't even messaged on Second Friday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, you got a little backlog of people.
But it can be hard though. I'll be honest, because the last time I went to Second Friday, and that was a couple Second Fridays ago, I want to say it was Second Friday in October.
I feel like I saw you in December, maybe.
I was at the one
at Future,
the one that was in Alabama Street, 5 Points.
Yeah, and
I was at that.
No, wait. Underground?
Yeah, that's the one I was at, and I was at that one with me, and I brought one of my friends with me to that. That was super. That wasn't one of the best ones.
That wasn't a good vibe.
Everyone says that.
It wasn't a good
no one
vibe.
really is
so
like
that's
Future.
Okay.
It's a lot for me though. I'll be honest. It's a lot of work for me going to Second Friday because I'm just like, okay, here we go with this again. Because I know I'm gonna go. I know my whole purpose is to get phone numbers and try to find out.
Get phone numbers.
She's on a tight schedule.
I'm on a tight
hilarious.
schedule, and all the good people don't seem to start coming until I leave anyway. I noticed that too.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
So
the later crowd.
Yeah, but I'll do that. I'll look around, and I'll be like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Oh my gosh.
And you're doing this by yourself.
Yes, most of the time, I really feel like out of the, I think 4 times I've been there, twice it's been by myself.
Okay.
And the times, I met cool people. Like there was one girl I met who was new. She was from California, and then the next day we met up again, and we protested at the rally for the abortions. The next day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
And she's a friend now.
She's a friend now.
Yeah.
I know. I honestly forget her name, but she is a friend.
Nick, she is a friend. But she's a friend.
No, she's a friend.
Well,
She's on my Instagram though. But we did meet up the next day to go protest at the rally.
But don't you feel like you're more likely maybe to meet someone? Now you've kind of put out this big community. You've met all these people. You're going to meet a friend of theirs,
and they'll have a friend.
They'll have a friend versus getting phone numbers at Second Friday.
It's probably better to do it that way. That's why you probably won't see me this time at Second Friday next weekend.
No, but the dating game and the 80s night, that's not enticing enough.
The 80s night is even tempting me.
Right, I know. And you know what?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to talk to you because I think that of all Second Fridays, this is the one that you should come to.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Next weekend, That's next weekend. It just depends on how my running
schedule is. Monday Night
is.
Garage. It's like a much more open space, so you're not like cramped.
Okay.
All right. Well, then I guess I will be there at the dating
starting
game.
earlier too. And it will. We're doing the dating game differently, where we're not selecting people ahead of time. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like a show up, and I realize when this airs, it'll be after second Friday. I apologize.
How do you pick who's going to get to be a contestant?
So people are showing up. They're going to put their name into a hat, and we're going to draw names.
Oh yeah.
So that way, like, because last time we had an issue where some people didn't show up, and also it was kind of hard to like group people together.
Yeah,
it's
people
fucking
feel
luck
bad.
Of the draw.
Yeah.
But we're also going to do like name tags too. And so, like, you'll know you'll know even more so who the single people are because they'll have on a name tag.
How many contestants can there be?
We're going to do 3 rounds.
Okay.
2 or 3 rounds. I can't remember what we settled on.
That's
I think 3
fun.
rounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go now. I'm going now.
And it'll start earlier. You can get out of there.
Start at 8 o'clock?
Let's get this thing started even earlier.
Are you going to go too?
I might go. If I can get Maria to go, I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be
so
amazing.
you've run so how many world majors have you run? I just want to know.
I don't know what a world
majors
major is, but I've run
New York Marathon, Chicago Marathon,
I've run those.
Boston.
Not run Boston. I've run San Francisco,
London.
San Diego.
Okay, those aren't. No, I'm talking the worlds are like the ones that are like the big ones that are Olympic.
I guess probably only New York and Chicago.
That's super cool then.
Yeah.
But how many have you done?
So I've actually
many.
done 21 marathons. My first marathon was actually in March of 2020.
Okay.
That was marathon number 1. And I've been running, so number 1, yes, I've been running 21 marathons within the past 2.5 years.
That is insane.
2 years and 1 month.
Every in the paper too, right?
I was in the paper. I was on the news. I was interviewed by Living Live that was back when I was doing my 12 marathons in 12 months. I started doing that. And the reason I started doing that is because my coach, who actually she runs the Olympic trials. She ran the Olympic trials in 2020. So her marathon time is like
obscene.
2 seconds.
faster than our half marathon time.
Yeah.
You know
God.
what I mean?
Insane.
Right. So she was just telling me that one a year is, ideal for everybody to only do 1 marathon a year because it takes a year for your body to recover. And if you do actually Google it, you ask how many marathons your person, it'll say 1 to 2 a year. It doesn't say. But then that one book that I read, 52 marathons in 52 weeks, where this guy ran a marathon a week.
I remember that book.
Yeah. I'm like, well, if he can do 1 a week, I can do 1 a month.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, yeah, but he's been doing it for a long time. You're new. You just started running. But I felt so good after my first one and my second one. I'm like, I can just keep going.
And it's like once you're in shape, like for it, like I feel like when I run one, when I finish, I'm always like, I'm not doing this again for a while. But every time I'm like, I'm ready now. Like my body is ready to. I'm trained now. If I wait, then I think
that's
over.
just it. And like that's the mindset that I've had when I've done half marathons. Is like I'm like, damn, I just worked my ass off and I trained so hard. Like I'm gonna take a break, and then I lose it. You know?
Lose it. That's the thing. Yeah, and that's kind of like building up all of that together because see now. I've been going on this streak since 2020, just running. I'm literally at this point like all trained up. But one thing I do make sure I do, no matter what happens, 2 weeks prior to the marathon, I make sure I do at least 1 long run of 20 miles. So if I can do 20 miles 2 weeks before the marathon, then I can run the marathon.
I think that's a smart move.
Yeah. But do you also feel like you get to a place of, and we don't know, I mean, I don't know if our audience probably doesn't care about this, but as far as running goes, like, do you ever get to a place where you're like, I've done so many at this point that, like, I could probably take an entire year off and still go out and run a marathon? Like, my mind kind of won't let me stop.
I don't see myself wanting to do that because
I wouldn't want to.
I'm going to tell you the situation. I'm sure you know because you're a runner. When you go, like, even a couple days without running, don't you feel weird?
Oh, yeah, I have to run.
Yeah. I can't see myself not wanting to run. Like, that one marathon where I actually fell at mile 17.
Oh, shit.
And that was actually the local marathon, which was in New Hampshire. I fell at mile 17, and I got up and I started running again.
Oh, wow.
And then my shoe was getting tight. I'm like, why is it getting tight? But I was swelling. It was swelling.
Oh, my goodness.
But I just was the last 9 miles, I limped it. But I still finished in 4 hours. I still finished in 4 hours and 30 minutes.
Amazing.
But I couldn't walk. Like, for literally 2 weeks, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And like, you can't run Philadelphia in 3 weeks. I'm like, I'm going to run Philadelphia Marathon. And I ran Philadelphia Marathon.
Wow. Damn.
But mine never matter.
Yeah, but just the whole fact of just the whole 2 weeks sucked. Not being able to run, not being, so I can't.
I do think it's very good for your mind. Like, like Maria now runs, not like I run, but she runs, and she's like, I really love it.
Yeah.
Like, it does, like, there is something to it.
You guys all run. You run, so you know.
I don't run like I used to. No.
Okay, so when was the last time you run?
I'll run like during CrossFit, like maybe like a total of a mile. Okay, but
so you're just doing
I do
all
not
ways
do
now.
like what I used to do, where I could go and like cut off my mind and run for 8 miles. Like, but I haven't been able to do that since I had the kids. And it's this weird thing where I can't shut off my brain.
But you recently just were running something. I felt like you ran a marathon recently. Since you've had the kids for a while,
I know my oldest is 10.
Right.
The last half marathon I did, I was pregnant with my son. I was like 17 weeks pregnant with him, and I did the Georgia marathon half marathon because I'd signed up for it, like not realizing I was going to be pregnant. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I had to stop like every 20 minutes to pee. It's insane.
Because you were pregnant, though.
Yes.
I mean, you were pregnant. Things happen when you're pregnant,
Yeah, it just, I don't know. It's like the time that it takes to train for a distance race like that.
But even if you just got out and went, like today, I had no plan. I just threw my headphones in and went for like a 5-mile run.
Yeah, I wish I could
it's
still
just
do
like
that.
you get lost
it's
in
a
it.
mindset
podcast
shift that I need
like,
to like find.
Yeah, it's
again.
really, it's endorphin. I don't know. Like I'm
No,
with you.
totally.
If I
love the running community.
Yeah.
And I love the positivity that comes. Like I love at a race, everybody's just like so excited for everyone, no matter who's in first or last.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
That is, it's great. And you know what? Now that we're in the running situation, let's talk about this topic real quick about running and the LGBTQ community running.
I know. I was just thinking why don't you start something?
So this is the situation. There actually is a QWN run club.
Yes.
But see, the thing is they only run 3 miles. This is not, and then after that, so it's like a fun run kind of. It's not like, and the people that are really running like real long runs are the men, the gay men. It's not really our community doing it. Okay. All the runners, and I'm part of the 50 States Marathon Club, and I'm part of Marathon Maniacs, and all the people there, they're all heterosexual.
So you're like, where are my lesbian runners? Yeah,
and I'm thinking, you know what? There's a heterosexual married woman right now that really is a lesbian and doesn't know it yet. Yeah, and she's waiting for me to.
Exactly. She is waiting for you.
She's coming out
at the finish line.
Yeah,
I do think though that there's, even if you did like a meetup that was like for lesbian runners.
Lesbians just don't like running long distances.
Lesbians don't like to
I had
go
a long
outside
conversation
that
with
much. Or not outside of hiking.
Yeah, they do hiking and roller derby. That's the thing, right?
But that roller derby shit is scary.
They do it though. We do that though.
I cannot sign up for it. I will watch it all day.
Hiking and roller derby.
Roller derby.
Oh, and kickball, right?
Yep, kickball.
Kickball.
God, I do love some kickball.
But yeah, the one girl I met at Second Friday, we were talking about it, and I was telling her my preferences of women and like what I wanted, looking for. She's like, okay, well, yeah, lesbians aren't going to be doing all that running the way you're doing.
But
you're just not going to find that.
Well, that's right. They don't have to do it with you.
Yeah, they don't have to do it with me, but they can still at least, do something. Maybe some yoga.
Or maybe they do the 3-mile run.
Hot yoga.
Do something.
Can you slow it down for them? Like, do you have to have someone, like you mentioned QWN, they're not running hardcore, but could you chill and do 3 miles?
That's fine. That's fine. At least they're just doing something.
You know what my suggestion would be?
Look at.
Next time there is a group run with QWN, comment on there and say, I want to do a little bit more distance. If someone wants to stick around after we do the 3 miles and run however long with you, like just say, join me.
All right.
And
I'm going to do that.
You might find your distance runner.
Right.
Yeah. And then the group will still be there at like whatever brewery or.
Right. Well, yeah. So I've usually done that. Like I've run like last time I ran like 14 miles and met up with them and ran the last 3 with them.
Okay. That's a
good there you go. Yeah.
Then you meet earlier. And
right.
Yeah. Because they meet like super late, like 11 o'clock. So
Did you know, were you friends with Danny?
She I remember she was trying to hook me up too with people, and I was just like, yeah.
Danny is this like great runner and physical therapist, but she lives in Miami now.
She met her girlfriend over at QWN. They met in QWN, and then they ended up moving. First they moved to Seattle, and now they're over in Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, but we had met up. Yeah, we were talking about stuff.
I don't even know if I need to. The truth is, like, I like to run with my headphones in, listening to my podcast.
Yeah, like
so
I'm
kind
of the same way. Like I'm a slow runner, so it's like I prefer to like run by myself because I'm like everyone else I know is like, oh, it's a 9-minute mile. I'm like, I'll be 11 minutes.
Yeah, like I'm totally. There are plenty of 11-minute people.
Yeah.
Because I pace the 11-minute pace group at Atlanta Track Club, and there's plenty of people doing this.
11 minutes in motion.
Yeah, it's not really though. But
that's a good.
Definitely.
That's a good practice, like run. Like 11 minutes is good for practice running.
I mean, if I ran a single mile, I could do it in around 9 minutes.
Okay, yeah. But the thing is, the long distances are supposed to be between 10 and 11. Yeah, slower, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got this.
Yes.
I want to hear your coming out story. When did you come out? Like, how did it go?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Okay, so I've always been gay, but I've always been growing up in the 80s, of course, it wasn't like really known to say, hey, I'm gay, this is what I'm doing and everything else. So what I did was I hid it by sleeping with all of my guy friends. At 11 years old, I was having sex with all of my guy friends.
My God.
Yeah, they were 11. I was 11, and my first time I was 11, and he was 12, and we used the same condom every day for like 3 days. Well, we didn't know you could change condoms.
It.
Yeah, how would you know this?
Time out. I have an 11-year-old. Like, I can't even imagine. He's like playing with Legos.
Oh my God.
Well, we were doing that too.
Oh, we were
and then after
that too. Where did you grow? Wait, where did you grow up?
I'm from the suburbs in New Jersey, South Jersey, right out in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So it was me and my two friends. And it was so funny because my one friend, like I would go to I went to his bar mitzvah, and then after that we had sex after the bar mitzvah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I remember he invited me to his house for Rosh Hashanah, and we would do the thing, and then I would give him head.
And even then you were like, I know I'm gay, but I've got to put up this front.
I mean, because I was doing what I saw, on TV, like on TV. So it's kind of like a fun thing to do. We would go like skateboarding, and then after that, we go in the woods and have sex. And then people started finding out about it.
Yeah.
And then they were calling me a whole bunch of names. Now, mind you, I always wore baggy clothes. I dressed like all the boys. Mm-hmm. But no one could say I was gay because they're like, oh, well, she's having sex. She's a hoe anyway. I'd rather be called...
She's a hoe anyway.
I'm like, at least I'm not gay, because that's worse than being called a hoe. Like, at least,
back then it was.
Yeah, so they were calling me a hoe. And my number was 627 Ietta. And they'd be like, let's call the hotline, 1-800-Ietta. And they would like make jokes about me. And I really had a bad reputation. And this would go on. So basically, through my whole entire like middle school, high school, it was just about me being a hoe.
Oh, wait, were your like mom and dad, like what were they thinking?
Oh, they didn't really know. Like my parents were really busy working and stuff. My dad, he was a doctor at UPenn, and my mom had like 3 businesses. Nobody was really paying attention to that. Okay, I didn't come out until I was in college, a freshman in college. And I had my first sexual experience with a female when I was 16. It was one of my friends. And I remember the situation. We were watching Real Sex on HBO. It was a show called
I remember Real Sex.
Remember Real Sex? And it was like Real Sex 2, I think, or 3. And they were talking about lesbians. And we had a conversation. She's like, well, we play Truth or Dare. She's like, I dare you to do something. I'm like, what? She's like kiss me. And the kiss turned into everything else. And next thing you know, we're in the shower together. But we had done a bunch of stuff like, I went down on her, she went down on me. And I was just so ashamed of that, what I had done. And then my friend was like, my one guy friend, he's like, well, that means you're bisexual. I'm like, no, it does not. Ew, that's disgusting. No way. But I realized later on I really did like doing that.
Yeah.
And I started doing more of that. And when I went to college and meeting people and just having girlfriends. So then I became like completely gay.
And then are you telling your family? Or are you just
they didn't really care.
In college?
They didn't really care about that at that point, only because I had so many other issues going on, like situations. They didn't care about that.
They were like, this is the least of our
problems. I had other situations. I was not a good kid growing up. I was not a good kid. So listen, the least of their worries was me being a lesbian. They're like, whatever, who cares? So because they had seen me with guys anyway. I had plenty of guys, and I was doing a bunch of stuff as a kid, because I had been pregnant several times. I was in the abortion clinic several times.
Oh my God, you did give your parents a run.
Yeah, so they were just like, whatever. Yeah.
At this point, we'll take being a lesbian.
Please whatever. Like, whatever. Yeah. So, and then at that time, and my brother also came out. So he's actually gay too.
Oh my gosh.
So basically, both of us are gay.
Wow.
And so my parents have been married for 60 years. So
oh my goodness.
They're just like, whatever. This is just the times we live in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they've been accepting.
They're accepting.
Oh, that's amazing.
Very accepting. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had a long-term girlfriend?
So the longest girlfriend I've had was, okay, so we're not gonna count the 4-year relationship, okay? Because they're no, really, like literally, the longest girlfriend I had, like that was like a real girlfriend, was probably like a year.
Okay.
I haven't had any real relationships.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
I really, and you know what? I heard somebody say this once. Okay. Like, if you like are single, in your 40s. Either two reasons. Either one, it's by choice, or two, it's a mental situation, a mental disorder. I feel like for me, it might be. This is what
that feels like. I feel like we need more options.
I know.
There.
Yeah. Mental disorder.
What?
Okay, go ahead. Why do you think?
I really feel like for me, it's just by choice. I've always been a person to want to do my own thing. And I realized this when I was in that one situation with relationships, it was always, I had to make sure we all had to go to the same restaurants. We had to eat the same types of foods. I was compromising things I didn't like for this person. I was doing things I was never doing before. Like I was doing hookah and I was doing different things. And I remember I was never allowed to eat eggs. Like they didn't want me to eat eggs. I mean, like I know this is
little things.
Like little things.
But still, like you weren't allowed to be the person that you are.
But now I'm able to do those things. Like, see, I can eat eggs whenever I want. Even though that sounds like a little thing, it's just like always being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and not have to explain to people, hey, this is what I'm doing. Because a lot of times in relationships I'm with, it's always like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? What are you doing this? I don't like drama. And there's a lot of drama that comes with relationships. Yeah. And then the times where I got people that weren't drama, there will be other situations.
Right.
So
you started to just not want the long-term thing.
Yeah.
It's more trouble than it's been worth.
I don't think I have really been relationship type throughout my life. So that's probably the situation.
Okay. But also, I feel like you're the kind of person that like you really know who you are.
Right.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, you're good with being alone. Mm-hmm. You welcome other people's company, but you're good to be alone. And I think that's
a healthy space to be in.
It's such a cool space too.
Yeah.
Like it's like this little like rock star space.
Yeah, that's what it is. And thank you. And that's kind of what it is now. I'm super cool with being alone, but of course I still like to have somebody too. But I refuse to settle, like, because I feel like I've settled in the past, and that's when I'm like, okay, boom, it's over. Yeah. I'm real quick to just dismiss somebody. That's one thing about me. I'm real quick to do that.
Yeah,
but because you know,
I know,
I
know, and then I've seen things before where I put myself in situations to where they didn't work out because I did too much.
You held on too long.
Yeah, and in the one situation, I held on for this one person for a few years, for very many years, and it just did not work out. And I'm not putting myself into the situation like that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there.
I'll be honest, for me, and I think it's my type of women I'm attracting. I always keep attracting the straight girls, and that's not a good situation.
It's almost like you wonder if you're looking for people that aren't available.
That's what it is. Because, and the type, I'm attracted to feminine women, and most of them are going to be 9 out of 10 times bisexual. Like, very seldom do I find a feminine girl that is like 100% like lesbian. I mean,
but you're open to dating now. If someone's listening to this,
if someone's feminine out there, yeah, absolutely,
and wants to run,
and wants
to get up exactly a mile a month.
You don't have
a marathon a mile,
that's not the criteria. You don't have to actually match a marathon a month. That's just someone that's active.
That's the goal, though. Yeah. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Dream. Well, should we wrap up? Do we need to get out of here?
I got to run, but Ietta, it has been a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you, too.
You might be one of the reasons I come to the 80s night.
Yes. Really?
Yeah.
That'll be really cool.
Because I haven't gone to any Second Fridays. Yeah. I can tell you're a blast.
Yeah. Right. And this is awesome. I'm so glad to be on the show. This is so cool.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming to Decatur.
Absolutely. Yeah. Decatur where it's greater.
That's right.
Here we go. Want to support the Lesbian Chronicles podcast? Rate us and write a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify.
We love listener feedback. If you'd like to share your story, email us at melissaandallie@gmail.com. That's Melissa, MELISA, and Allie, ALLI, @gmail.com. Or follow us on Instagram at Lesbian Chronicles.